to Season 2 of the Fairways People podcast, where we share inspiring stories, meaningful conversations, and the voices behind our charity. Each episode offers a closer look at the people and passion that drive us. Hosted by Fairways Managing Director Gareth Webb.
Hello and welcome to another Fairways People podcast. My name's Gareth Webb, the Managing Director of Fairways. As you can see, I've got a nice new shiny podcast studio. And our guest today is the one and only Craig Morris. Welcome, Craig.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good, thank you. Thank
Craig
you for
didn't
being
realise... Sorry?
Thank you for the guinea pig of the new format.
You're welcome. Craig didn't realise that I've got a new studio now, and actually we're going to do live video streams. So I caught him by surprise, but you'll be fine, Craig, and it's great to have you on board. Thank you. So, welcome, Craig. I know you've had a brief introduction. You've been with Fairways now for over 20 years, so a massive, long service for Fairways, and you've contributed loads and had different roles along your journey. So, you joined as a support worker many years ago. You've had a variety of different roles, shift leaders. Worked in residential, so you've got lots of experience in residential. And you was assistant manager at one point, and then you sort of come over into sort of the central support roles. And a big part of your role was taking over health and safety, and actually, I would say you changed the landscape in terms of health and safety and what we implemented across the charity. You also stepped up and oversee all our facilities, our maintenance, all our different types of building projects. So you've had a massive journey. So I'm really excited to talk to you today and hopefully share with people a bit more about you and your background, because probably a lot of people see you as like the head of health and safety and maintenance, but actually you have got lots of childcare experience and you know Fairways very well. So with all guests, let's start from the beginning. So tell me a little bit about your childhood and where you grew up, Craig.
Wow. Okay. So I was born and grew up in Southampton.
It's all
right. my parents separated when I was 2. So I lived with my mum, sister and brother in Southampton in a little council flat in Harefield. I was quite fond of this little flat. It was some good memories there. It overlooked a small playing field with a tree in the middle, and it's where I went with my friends. Sorry, my phone's ringing. I'll shut that off. That's where I grew up really. I moved from Harefield to Merrioak and then back to Harefield, a couple of roads away from the flat. So that was mainly my upbringing in Harefield. At the age of 11, I was put into foster care. Probably my most traumatic life experience at that age was being separated from my family, where me and my siblings were fostered for a year as my mum fell unwell. Sadly, my brother, who was a baby, was placed with another family. I always remember the foster family who welcomed us into their home and how lovely they were to me and my sister. Although at the time I was separated from my family, it didn't feel traumatic. And I only have good memories so on reflection, I believe that was down to the foster parents. After a year or 2, I can't remember exactly the length of it, but we did return to my mum, and then lived what I considered a normal life, attending school. At the age of 16, went to college, where I studied a BTEC National Diploma in IT. I didn't enjoy that. So I did it. I completed the course. I wanted to leave with a qualification, but yeah, I just didn't enjoy that. So having left school, I got a job at Marks and Spencer's, working weekends, and I worked out in the back in the warehouse. And that was running out clothes, food, and bits and bobs like that. offloading the lorries. And a part of that job was also part of the facilities team, where I test the buildings' alarms, etc. And it's the Hedge End store in Southampton, massive, massive,
Yeah, yeah,
and
it is big. Yeah.
um, but I got a lot from working there. To be fair, I really enjoyed it. And whilst there, actually, that's where my mum's friend worked for Cornerstone, which was the company Fairways grew from.
That's right. Yeah.
And she talked to me about Cornerstone, what she did, and she was doing secure escorts, traveling up and down the country, taking children to and from secure residential homes to court. And that's where I became interested and wanted to work for Cornerstone. And from that point, that's when I applied to Cornerstone.
Wow. Okay. So, right. Let me just stop there because um, I've known you for 20 years, Craig, and I never knew that you were in foster care. So,
Yeah.
wow, you've got some lived experience there. Wow, that's massive. So, c- if you don't mind, can we just sort of rewind it up a bit and just touch on that? So what age did you say you went into foster care at 11?
About 11, yeah. But
Yeah.
I was 11, my sister was 9, and my brother was a newborn, 1, I think. So around about that
Okay.
age. Yeah.
And I know your brother, don't I?
Yeah, Michael, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I didn't realise there was that much of a age gap between you both. But
10 years, yeah.
yeah, oh
He
wow,
looks my age, but uh,
okay. So so what was that like going into foster care? We're going into because we talk about the young people all the time and how challenging that is must be. But how was that going into another family and having to leave mum?
I I I thought um I thought it went well. Obviously, I don't have any bad feelings or bad thoughts about it, bad memories. I always remember thinking I walked. So living in a small council flat or and a council home, I remember going into this home and it was lovely. They welcomed me in, had my own bedroom, and they were just so warm and lovely. I'd obviously never experienced anything like that in my life, and it was very surreal going into someone else's home. But I just I connected with them. They had other foster kit children in the top bedroom in the attic room, and it was a nice experience. Everyone just worked. We sat around a dinner table at dinner, spoke about our day. And you know what? It actually molded a lot of things when I think about it, what I do nowadays with my own children. I like to sit around a dinner table and we talk about our days, etc. And I got that from them. So what they did for me is quite a lot really, and sadly I don't have it. I didn't have any contact with them after, where I was so young. But I drive past the house most time, and I look quite fondly at it. So
Right,
they
yeah,
had a
yeah.
really positive impact on me, and I think that just says a lot, really, doesn't it, about who you're placed with?
100%. I think and obviously you went back with mum, which is fantastic. But I guess it's like that just shows how crucial it is for foster carers, doesn't it? When families need that bit of intervention for whatever reason for a period of time, you know your experience that you said then with foster carers, just to hold you, keep you safe, care for you, and then back with mum, that's amazing. And that's why we're crying out for foster carers, isn't it? We need so many more like that. But yeah, that is just the proof that the impact that has. So thanks for sharing that, Craig. I appreciate that. Um,
Absolutely.
so um, so you went on to work with Cornerstone, and you did a variety of different roles in Cornerstone just before we come to Fairways. So you've done secure escorts, worked in children's homes, stuff like that. So how did talk to me a little bit about some of the roles you've had, um, and how you joined Fairways.
Um, I started as an agency worker for Cornerstone. I worked with the secure escort team traveling up and down the country. I worked with the community support, where I supported a lad out in the community. I worked in many children's homes. These were not just the Cornerstones homes. These were the local authority homes. This actually opened my eyes, to be honest, how different a home can feel. The local authority homes were very institutional. Where you had the hard wipeable blue seats that you find in hospitals.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
horrible. Cornerstone's homes felt more homely. My favourite was Pebbles, which was one of Cornerstone's homes. Did you work there, Gareth? I can't
We worked
remember.
there together. We did many years ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
that
that.
that was my favourite home. It had 3 floors, so obviously ground first, and then top floor, and the 4 bedrooms are on the first floor. The top floor was the 2 offices, staff office and the manager's office. I just remember really liking the feel of the home and how the team worked together. A position opened up, so I applied for a permanent position there. I was interviewed by Mac. He was the house manager at the time, and this was the first time I met Mac. My first week, the team supported me, and guided me on the do's and don'ts. Basically, I was pretty much in awe of what they did and how they worked with the children. I just remember how brilliant they were and how close knitted and how
Yeah.
welcoming they were. However, my first week, I will say, was eventful, and I had my first incident. One afternoon, I was left on my own in the home. All the kids were out with staff. One child was due back from college. I was working in the office typing up some notes, when all of a sudden a pillow slip got pulled over my head and I was tackled to the floor. Lot of grunts and then a giggle. I was like, right, like a little girl, literally, in the background. After what felt like an eternity in that pillow slip, but more like 20 seconds, I scurried to safety in shock. And whilst regathering myself, I looked up, seeing Mac wetting himself. So yeah, my manager attacked me the first week, introduced me to the company.
Your first major incident wasn't with a child; it was with the manager.
It was
The
Mac with the
you.
slip around my head. Yeah,
Yeah,
proper
he's not
scurry.
changed.
And from that day, as a 20-year-old or 21, I can't remember, I knew I was going to retire with the company. I share this because not only was it traumatizing for me, but it was also the start of how I was inspired by my manager.
Yeah, definitely.
Believe it or not, he managed his team. How he managed his team was inspiring. Work was fun. We had a laugh, but serious at the same time. It was professional, focused on the children's outcomes, and serious. Mac taught me how to work with people and get the best out of yourself and everyone.
Yeah,
His passion for the children and his staff gripped me. I copied him, and to this day, I treat my staff, my team, with the same approach. So yeah, it was interesting, my start, but I got a lot from Pebbles. I really did.
Okay, so you worked in Pebbles, and like you said, we worked together. I worked at Pebbles, and at the time, that's when Cornerstone split up and Fairways, and that took Fairways with Pebbles and a handful of foster carers. So you come across with Pebbles as well, didn't you? As a book worker, shift worker. So what was talk me through a little bit about your journey with Fairways and where you've got to now?
Yeah, great. So my career as it is today, started and grew from Pebbles. I took on the responsibility for health and safety in the home, testing the alarms. I did all of that for the team. There was a team. It was only a team of 10, I think. We all had our roles, and I took on health and safety, maintenance, fixing things. DIY and a bit of budget. I would go around fixing things, and the car checks for the one car we had. Through my time, I was promoted to many positions, from key worker to shift leader to assistant manager. And then in 2005, I think we said that's when Mac formed Fairways, wasn't it? Fairways Care.
Yeah, around that time, yeah.
And the company split from Cornerstone. Pebbles moved from Bitton to Manor Farm Cottage. I remember being amazed by moving into this property at how lovely it was. Its grounds, 3 acres of grounds or whatever, and the sheer difference of being in a townhouse to this property. And yeah, I just remember myself and the team being so excited and happy for the new home that we were in. My role grew as Fairways did. Mac, as you know, more responsibility came my way. Mac approached me and said, as I was responsible for health and safety tasks, he wanted me to complete a NEBOSH course, which I did. As we grew, my responsibility grew. I stopped working in the homes and became a full-time health and safety and maintenance. Again, where I would do a lot of the maintenance myself, or I would bring it in. We didn't have a maintenance team back then. Thankfully, I hired and formed the teams we have today over time. We now have a team of 12 across the maintenance department, health and safety, and the vehicle fleet. So, yeah, lots moved on, really.
Yeah, so you've had a massive journey, ain't you, in terms of you sort of took a sidestep into more of the central support health and safety area, and you've really grown in that. And now, you oversee the whole of the charity. We've got, 17, 18 different regulated services. We've got, over 500 staff now. So health and safety is number one, along with safeguarding. So lots of responsibility now. So talk to me a little bit about your role now then. So as head of health and safety and maintenance, what's it you do now, Craig, in terms of your role?
Yeah. So I cover 4 areas under my remit. That is, I'm responsible for the organisation's health and safety. I work with the health and safety team, ensuring all the properties and people are safe and well. That covers from what I like to call a proactive and a reactive approach. Which is proactive is all the audits that we go and do from the health and safety reps. Got a health and safety committee now that we built. We do deep dive audits across all the homes. The reps do their checks, the managers do their checks. So we do very proactive checklists all the way through, every month completed, etc. Reactive side of things is where we have to support with any risk assessments or accident and investigations. Something happens, then we go in and look at what happened. Then you've got the facility side of things, which takes majority of my time. The facilities is the maintenance department and the servicing of our properties, where we've got the maintenance teams that go around making sure everything still works, any damage is fixed, anything that breaks, etc. And then you've got the proactive side of that, making sure that the servicing of the boilers, the gutters, all the boring stuff that is essential but keeps all the homes ticking over.
Yeah.
Property development is where the majority of my time is spent, really, is looking, which includes opening new homes and services. And this can be from the design aspect of the even from the foundation to the pipes to the room layout, etc. All the way to handing the keys of a finished building to the new team. And then I oversee the vehicle fleet, which covers, believe it or not, over 50 vehicles now. And it's ensuring that their road's safe, they're safety checked, and they're legal. So it's grown massively.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've got quite a big portfolio now, haven't you, of
absolutely.
different
Yeah.
tasks, responsibilities. So what do you find most challenging in your role, would you say?
Um, I I find challenge probably getting out and about to all the services now, where we're so much bigger. It's finding that challenge to get to everyone. Hence why I rely so much on the team, and why we've got a growth plan is to make sure there's team. So we're more face to face. That's probably a challenge, to be fair.
And what do
Um,
you enjoy most about your role?
now I do like the property development side of things. The I like how design bringing my life experience, my work experience into those designs. It's silly little things like how the setup of a home or how the layout is, etc. So yeah, I get a lot from that.
Yeah, I see that. And I've seen your journey, how much you've developed as a professional, and um, how good your work is now, and how you like so where we were, obviously we were so small to know all the designs and the drawings you do is so professional, and of how you've developed and improved, and that it's been really really good to see. So yeah, well done, really good, really good. So so why why did you choose Fairways, or why did you stay with Fairways? What do you like about Fairways?
That's an easy one, Gareth. When I started, it was the team, it was the people. Those small amount of people on the 10 people at a time. This was the main reason, and I always considered Fairways. You know, that was the main reason really, is how I was treated, how I felt in that team. And that's grown over the years. It's never ever changed. The people are just magnificent. We recruit decent, kind, caring people, and I know it sounds cheesy, but I really feel that Fairways is my second family in that sense. After what's it been, 23 years, I've had many up and downs, both personally and within work. I what I can say is that I've always been supported for my personal and work challenges. My seniors have openly supported and comforted me during distress. My seniors have helped me grow, promoting me to do various courses and just better myself. It's always also it's the company vision, what we do and how we give back. So you know, I speak to a lot of people, and I often speak so highly of my career and my job and the company. It's because what we do. It's not a normal job. It's now a charity that's not for profit, and we give so much back. And then it's not just Fairways; it's all these other charity projects that we do to better others. So that's why I choose Fairways, and that's why I will continue to choose Fairways.
Brilliant. No, that's so nice to hear, and really nice, especially like I guess your length of service, speaks for itself. But just to talk about the support you get, and like you say, it's we all have issues inside, outside of work, but to hear the support you get and what you believe in and how that second family sort of feel is so nice to hear. So thanks for sharing that, Craig. Thank you.
No
So what's
worries.
your a lot of people ask is what's your why? Why do you do what you do? Um, what gets you out of bed in the morning?
The alarm clock first. Um, I get great satisfaction from helping people. That's my role. That's my team's role. We're a support network for Fairways. So, most of all, I love, um, yeah, I just love helping people really. I love the feeling of opening a new service, how this is received by the staff and the young people. Um, During my time as a care worker, some of the homes weren't that great. So I have the opportunity to give a young person a wonderful home and a lovely bedroom. Um, All Seasons being a great example. It's modern, open planned, a lot of learning from my role as a care worker and listening to staff over the years were helped to design the home from, for example, the top floor being separated with a right and left wing. We were listening and, to give that to the home, help support the home and the running of the home. Yeah, does that answer?
Yeah. Like you say, I think it's just that passion about being able to make a difference and
Yeah,
to young people, but be involved with, like you say, from new services and designing, being involved with that and the difference that can make to, because central support staff are equally as important to our frontline staff. We're all one community, and each piece of the puzzle makes such a difference to our young people and families. So one of the questions I always ask our guests, and I have to keep saying it now, but if you was what's the values inside you? So if you was a stick of rock was to break you in half, the
yeah.
ones you, if I'm fair, and it'd have the name running through it. What would be the values running through you? What's your core values, Craig?
I would say respect. To be respectful to one another. It's something that I try and channel into my own children, and I use a lot at home, is to respect people's beliefs, views, etc. It's deeply important to me, how people respect each other. I would say fairness as well, to have a fair approach, and how we treat people. They're the two most values that sit with me. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. Respect and fairness. You
yeah,
can't go wrong with that, can you?
no,
Brilliant. Okay, last question. So, one of the generic questions I ask all my guests, sort of in the chaos of everyday life at the moment, and the people's mental health and the impact that has. What do you do for your own well-being, or what do you suggest?
uh, the gym has massively helped me. It really has. So I've always been someone to go to the gym, but since COVID, I came out of there and I kind of wanted to rebuild myself both mentally and physically. And it helps keep me focused. So the gym is really is such a healthy thing for me to keep my mind and physically fit. So that I spend a lot of time there. I'd say going away to the countryside. I love the countryside. If I can go, if wherever I get my annual leave, I'll up and leave and go to a shepherd's hut, for example, and go
Yeah.
on a walk with a dog. Um, what other things? I love a spa day. Everyone loves a
Oh,
spa
yeah,
day.
can't be a dog.
Yeah, spa day. So yeah, that's me. Otherwise, it's very busy with work,
Yeah.
children, but they're my focus. They're my what I do.
The gym, yeah, I like that. Gym's always good for your physical and mental well-being, isn't it? So
Yeah,
cool. Okay, well, thank you so much, Craig, for your time today. It's been really good to sort of speak to you. I appreciate you sharing some personal information today in your story, and that's really interesting. It's something something new that I've learned today. So thank you for sharing that. And just a big thank you for everything that you do each day, you and your team. So thanks for coming on.
thank you very much, Gareth. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. See you later, everyone.